Now that the road blanket is underway, we are taking a little side trip to create the speech bubble. While the single crochet is the featured stitch, we add a sprinkling of other stitches to shape the tail and outline the edge. So easy to crochet, it's pure fun. So grab some black and white and let's begin. I doubled up my yarn for about 24 to 30 inches, and I'm going to tie my slip knot right at that fold, insert my hook into that loop, and now I'm going to chain using a double strand of yarn, 16 chains. Once I have the 16 chains, I'm going to pull the end through, and that's going to get woven in later. And I'll show you an easy way to take care of that. From now on, we're going to be working with a single strand of yarn, but the double strand of yarn gave substance to that center foundation chain because we're going to be going around this foundation chain. And if it was a single strand of yarn, it would be kind of weak. So now I'm going to chain one more and work one single crochet in that very same stitch, and then one in each chain along the side. When I get to the last chain, I'll do something different. I'll meet you then. All right, I'm there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert my hook in the last chain of the foundation chain, and I want to make sure that I catch at least 2 strands. Pull up a loop and complete a single crochet. And then I'm going to work another single crochet in the very same stitch and a third single crochet in that very same stitch. Do you see how that helps round that corner? So now I can work down this side of the foundation chain. And it's very easy to find the spot because, as you can see, the single crochet comes out from this side and you're going to go into the exact same spot. So I'm going to do a single crochet in each of the stitches along this side now. When I get to the other end, I am going to find that last chain, and I'm going to end with 2 single crochets in that last chain. Now we already had 1 single crochet in that same chain from the other side, so that gives us 3 single crochets in that side. So our little oval has now been formed. And do you see how nice and firm that center is? There's no weakness in it. Now, there's a couple things that we're going to do on this next row. First, we're going to lay our yarn down over the top edge because I'm just going to crochet around it and bury it at the same time. In the very first single crochet, I'm going to work 2 single crochets. Okay, and I'm going to go back here and I'm going to mark the last stitch of the round, so I know when my round is finished. And then I'm going to work 1 single crochet in each of the stitches along this side. And as you can see, since I laid the yarn tail down across the top edge, it's getting buried at the same time. After we do maybe, a few inches around it, I'm just going to trim off that end. And that little tail can go away. So when I get to this end of the oval, I'm going to find my end 3 stitches. And in each one of those stitches, I'm going to work 2 single crochets. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4 goes in the end one, and 5, 6. The reason we do those extra single crochets is so that our speech bubble lays flat at the ends. Now, along this side, I'm going to just work 1 single crochet in each of the stitches until I get 2 stitches before my marker. So here we have 2 stitches left. So I'm going to work 2 single crochets in this stitch, 2 in the last stitch, and I'm at my marker. Now you can move the marker each time if you'd like. I personally don't need to look at it, but we're going to leave it in just for fun. I'm just going to stick it on the front though, so it doesn't interfere with me finishing this. On the next 2 rounds, we are going to work 1 single crochet in each stitch along the side edges, and we will work 3 increases at each end. An increase is made by working 2 single crochets in 1 stitch, just like we did before. But we want to make sure that we spread them out so there's more stitches in between, and that we don't work an increase on top of another increase. It just makes the curve smoother. Okay, so now I just finished my 4th round, and you can count them from the very center, 1, 2, 3, 4. On round 5 through 8, we're going to work even, which is just 1 in each, until we get to the ends. But on the rounded ends, we're going to work 4 increases on each of the rows. So 4 on this side, 4 on this side. Because it's getting broader, we need more increases. I'll meet you then. So I just finished my round 8, and so I'm on to the final round of white. I'm going to continue to increase 2 over here and then 4 around this end, but when I get down about 2/3, I am going to stop. I'm there, because this is where I'm going to add my little speech bubble thingy. To make the tail, chain 10. And we're going to roll this chain over, and in the 2nd stitch, in the 3rd loop on the back of the 2nd stitch, I'm going to slip stitch. Then I'm going to work 1 single crochet in each of the next chains, but I'm always working in the 3rd loop on the back. So that's the 2nd one. Go to the next one. Here's the 3rd one. When I get this far, I'm going to work a half double crochet in each of the next 3. And then I'm going to work a double crochet in the next 2. And that brings us right up to the end of this chain. Before attaching the tail to the bubble, decide which direction the tail should point. Hold it one way or the other, skip 2 stitches along the oval edge, and slip stitch to attach. Cut the yarn and weave in the end before you go on. Insert the hook under both loops of the stitch at the base of the tail so you can work toward the tip of the tail. Leaving an 18-inch yarn tail, pull up a loop to start. Then insert the hook under both loops of the next stitch and slip stitch. Continue to work toward the tip, placing a slip stitch under both loops of each stitch along this side of the tail. When you reach the tip, chain 1 to sharpen its point. Then work 1 slip stitch under both loops of each stitch along the other side of the tail and around the entire speech bubble. Leave an 18-inch yarn tail at this end also. Now, the last thing we want to do is we want to put the message out here. And I'm going to show you a real easy way to do it. I'm going to cut some yarn, and our message is ouch. Now, it could be a different Grawlix, like S-H blankety blank, but we're going to do it innocently. And all I'm going to do is stitch up here, figure out how big I want my letters. I spell it out like so. I'm going to hold it down. You can mark it some other way if you'd like, but I'm going to just do a real sketch of it. So now I have the outline of my letters. So this is how I find it really easy to do. So I'm going to stitch back. And let's get the exclamation point in there. I'm going to come about a 1/2 inch down and stitch across. And come maybe a 1/2 inch down, 3/4 inch, and stitch across it again. So I'm going to divide each of the letters up a little bit. And as you can see, I'm tagging it into place. Now, when I come up here, I'm going to bring it to the back, Bring it to the front, but in a different spot. And I can then put my yarn under the next loop here, the next loop here, where I have the cross stitches, and I can thicken it. And I'm just going to do that same thing all the way down. See? So it can be as thick as you want it to be. And that part is finished. I can just trim it then. Now, I'm going to do the same thing I did for that exclamation point as I go across this, and I'll stabilize and thicken these up, and I'll meet you when I'm done. Our speech bubble is complete. In our next video, we learn to crochet Squish and attach him to his very own road blanket. With tire tracks across his body and a dangling tongue, this little character will steal the show. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Please take a moment to subscribe and ring the bell to receive notifications of upcoming videos and events. Happy crocheting!